Stefan is a data scientist at Covestro, which is a German chemical manufacturing firm in Germany, for those who aren't aware. And Stefan has a background in economics and information management. He's spent the last 10 years in IT, in financial services, the chemical industry, mostly focusing on data management, analysis, and machine learning. And he's currently part of the advanced analytics team at Covestro, responsible for integrating data science into core business processes. So with that, I am excited to introduce Stefan. Stefan, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me just quickly share the screen and get everything going. Okay. So I hope you can see my screen. If not, let me know where to chat because we're going to start off. So my name is Stefan Langenbach. I work at Covestro, and today I'm going to talk to you about the lessons we learned advancing data literacy in the chemical industry and specifically at Covestro. So what's on the agenda for today? So I'm going to give you like a quick introduction of what Covestro is, what we do, and who I am. And then we're going to talk about, okay, what is data literacy and why does it matter? Why does it matter for Covestro? And we're also going to look at what we did to actually advance this within our company, and most importantly, what did we learn? And after that, we have some time for questions. All right, with that being said, a brief overview of Covestro and of myself. At Covestro, we do plastics. We do high-performance plastics. We're a company with a global presence, and the plastics we do, you're probably using in one way or another from day to day. If you drive in a car, if you have some furniture around which you're using, or if you're using a laptop, for example. Plus, yeah, it's stated here, we're an innovative company. Everybody claims this today, but really depend on that to satisfy the requirements from our customers. Yeah, we been around for 5 years only. So why is it saying 80 years here? Basically, Covestro was part of Bayer once. So we were part of Bayer. We were by Bayer Material Sciences, and since 2015, yeah, we're Covestro. All right. With that being said, where are we actually created? So this map actually shows our 8 largest production plants with a really large scale. You may see some very obscure names in Germany, like Dormagen and Leverkusen, Krefeld, and so forth. That's the production sites in Germany, and then it's Antwerp in Belgium. But we're also present in the US, this Baytown. We are also in Shanghai and Matterput. So really, that's the global presence. That's only the 8 largest sites, and this is where we operate. Furthermore, where our products actually used and who are our customers, you see that's like very diverse. As I said before, there is automotive and transportation, there's electronics. So if you have a very thin notebook, as I said before, there's probably some high performance plastics from Covestro involved. Yeah, we're doing lots of different industries, and although without knowing it, you may use our products from day to day. So that can be said about Covestro. Now, what about myself? Tim already introduced me. Just very recap. This is what I looked like before I got my twins when days were still better. So yeah, I'm based in Cologne, Germany, very close to Leverkusen. So for me, it's late afternoon. Given this is the Citizen Data Science Conference, I think what is important about me to say, I have no formal education in computer science, but I have an interest in IT from an early age. So there's a picture of me in front of a Commodore 64 with 2 years old. I think it wasn't knowing what I was doing, but this interest developed early. When I'm not at work, yeah, I basically take care of my twin baby girls. And since I lived in Italy, if there's a good espresso to be enjoyed, I will enjoy it. And yeah, when thinking about this conference, basically, I guess I can fit the definition of a citizen data scientist or machine learning engineer, because I have not like 100% focus on statistics and mathematics. I came from economics with interest in IT, and so I think I'm in good company here. All right, so much about the introduction. Let us speak about data literacy and why does it matter. I will start with an experiment here. Let's take a guess, and if you can actually supply the answer to the chat. So if you just give me an indication of whether you think A, B, or C, what's the largest in here? I'm going to take a look at the chat, and we are going to see what the opinion is. So C and C and C is coming in. A lot of C's I see. Everybody thinks it's Google. Is there anybody out there who thinks it's somebody else? All right, I'm not sure if I already shared the notes here. I guess this is going a bit sideways. What? Now I'm back on. Sorry, it's actually, my sources say it's A. And that can be debated, of course, because all the answers to these questions are approximations. And the data actually for the Google queries, maybe you're right today, because this data is from 2012. But actually speaking or getting the right answer here is not the point. The answer or the takeaway here is, in order to answer that question, you need to have a sense of understanding of data. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about. And that is exactly what data literacy is. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at the definition. So this is coming from Gartner, and I won't read the quote to you, but to me, the main building blocks actually here, data literacy is what reading, writing, and communicating data and context. And that is what it's really about. And if you can do that, you are in a good position, because it is important, and like coming up with another quote, without data, you're just another person with an opinion. That's from Deming. And having data literacy is important because even with data, you need to be able to get an understanding of that data. You need to be able to put it into context. I guess you all heard of the Hippo effect, the highest opinion of the best paid person in the round. That's what's actually being used. With data literacy, we can counter that. We have the skills available to change this. Now, is it enough just to know a bit about data and to have data to get your message through? I would argue it's not, because data literacy is merely a prerequisite to realize value from data. This is the data, information, knowledge, wisdom pyramid. You see, data is at the very bottom, and you need to work your way up the pyramid in order to actually realize it. And you may ask yourself, okay, why is this important for Covestro? Yeah. First of all, starting at the very bottom, what a lot of people don't know about the chemical industry is actually that we are sitting on quite some data. All our production sites are equipped with measurements, so we can really take a lot of measurements regarding the chemical and physical components there, and we get a lot of insight on the processes which are running there. So we have all this data available. Now, the issue with having this data available is data as such, without information, it's not worth a lot. You can't do a lot without that. So it's usually underutilized. And just by working up this pyramid, adding information, adding knowledge, adding experience, we can actually use that. And at Covestro, this is especially important because we face challenges. We face the challenges of transforming our business to climate neutrality. We need to keep up with customer requirements. So using the data that we have, that we are sitting on, is becoming very, very important for us. And we believe that data literacy is the prerequisite, is the building block to transforming data we have basically into real value. All right. we've spoken about what data literacy is and why it's important. Now let's take a look of what we actually do at Covestro to advance it. And basically we have 3 pillars here. And we call this Data Academy, the data science community, and citizens data science teams. Now let's focus on the very first part, Data Academy. We have an internal education program, and it's a blend of online and offline courses. And there are different tracks according to, well, existing knowledge an employee has in order to get going at Scarlet. So the idea is here really at the lowest level, the basic levels, just to get an awareness of what data is, why it's important, what kind of data we have at the company, and how it can be used. Then if an employee is really attracted by that, if somebody is really having an appetite for data skills, we go on and teach another level, intermediate levels, where they, let's say, they learn basic data wrangling and visualization skills, which go beyond using Excel, which they can use in their daily work. So we're teaching these data skills here. And then for some of the employees we have, which are very data-centric, which are very keen to learn, we even offer like a advanced level where we, I would say, teach data science skills to these individuals, and they go through a whole curriculum and have a project at the end. So in the end, they can become citizen data scientists. So we try to do education on different levels to advance data literacy as the very first point. Then we have a community. It's a community of practitioners. In this community, what we try to do is facilitate the knowledge sharing. And what is really important here is not only to learn like technical tools or methodologies, but actually learn what is going on in terms of data and data product or data use cases within the company. With a huge company, with a global presence, it's very important that you talk to each other regularly and to learn what is going on in one side of the company, which can be maybe used and transferred to another side. And we really try to facilitate the discussion here and the knowledge sharing and also the sharing of ideas. This helps us in a way to utilize data literacy, but also to spread it in a way that we can transfer ideas from, let's say, one department to the other. And the third is here, the data science teams. I call them citizens data science teams because although we have a lot of engineers in a classical sense at the company, it's not necessarily that we have like a plethora of mathematicians or statisticians here. It's really a lot of people that are subject matter experts that have a degree in chemistry, which are close to the data, and they become the citizen data scientists. We use a hub and spoke model. And what we do is here we have a central team where I work, and we have these spoke teams and really these business units of Covestro. They are very close to their products. They have the subject matter expertise there. And in a way, this also helps us to advance data literacy because we can have on one side people leveraging data literacy, but all these stakeholders working with these teams in the respective business units, they get an idea of how work with data is done, how data is utilized, and what kind of problems can be solved with that, and also what kind of solutions and outcomes can be accomplished. So yeah, this is really our 3 pillars that we're having. With that outlined, and this all sounding very good and straightforward, let's take a look at what we actually learned along the way. So our lessons learned here. These internal education programs, they can be very effective. If you carry them out consistently, they are very effective and really can produce a lot of great individuals. But they really require continuous commitment, time and resources. Now, this may seem straightforward, but sometimes you get ahead of yourself and you're very curious and courageous and have a lot of energy and say, yeah, we're going to put up a curriculum and we then have a blend of these courses. But what we learned is, especially in a pandemic, keeping this advanced and even intermediate training levels up without having this close contact and coming together is really difficult, especially for a corporation that is in the chemical business, which is not in the teaching business. So we learned along that way that we need more resources to do this, that we need more time to do this. And currently, we in the central team, we do the basic training still because, yeah, taking all the whole initiative is just too much of an effort. Another point we learned, and I think I hinted on, is if you can identify and train, I call them data curious subject matter experts. This is a good and probably the best strategy to develop citizen data scientists, and then also a way to advance, leverage, and spread data literacy throughout the company. We are very fortunate that we have a few engineers who are very close to dealing with data. And if we can teach the data science skills to them, data wrangling skills to them, they can become enormously effective. And this really helps us to utilize our data better and advance data literacy. Another thing about the community of practitioners, sounds like a good idea. There's a lot of research on that too, but we learned that it needs to be managed actively. Otherwise, it's just the same 10 people sharing ideas and talking to each other. And what we tried and what it really has worked well is that we opened the community up, not just to a few, let's say, hardcore data scientists, data engineers, or machine learning engineers, but to everybody who's interested in working with data and have also them sharing questions and ideas. And yeah, we manage this community. We try to fill the meetings with meaningful content, and that helps. I guess it's the same as with the internal education programs. You need the commitment. Finally, two things, or yeah, one thing about data science teams. Center of excellence, as we have, is really great to pool the knowledge, to create artifacts that can be reused, but the scaling of use cases in the respective business units, that is crucial. A central team, at least in our world, could never do this alone. We need the citizen data scientists, the integrated data science teams in the business units. Experts really helps. Final point, which I would like to mention, is something that is, I guess, not only relevant in the chemical industry or the company where I work, is if you work with, let's say, leaders or business stakeholders which have some understanding of data, some understanding of the things you are doing with data science, then it really helps to get commitment to move on with the operationalization of the use cases once you show them that they worked. In a big organization, a lot of things happen simultaneously, lots of conflicting priorities, but people understand that if they can attack the problems from a different perspective and have new solutions, can find new solutions for solving these problems with data, with the methodologies we teach and we use, then that gets us the commitment really to operationalize the things we have experimented on. Good, so far so good. We talked about data literacy. We talked about why it's important, what we do at Covestro to advance it, what lessons we learned. Let's wrap up. And what I can just say is data literacy, keep in mind, it's being able to read, write, and communicate data. To me and to us, it's really a prerequisite for realizing value from data. You can advance it through a whole different set of initiatives, mentioned internal education programs, which work well for us. Just keep in mind, all of those require continuous investment and commitments. And please, if you're in the organization, wherever you work, if you have data curious people, which might not be statisticians, mathematicians, or even software engineers, that doesn't matter. Train these people, develop them, teach them the technical skills they need. They will have all the wisdom and knowledge of their field, and they're going to be a great resource. With that being said, it's about 20 minutes I spoke, I guess. I will always say thank you. That's enough for presentation. If you would like to reach out to me, there's my email. And with that being said, we have time for discussion.
Right. Thank you, Stefan. Any questions in the room? Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Stefan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
One question that came up to mind is you mentioned data curious subject matter experts are good folks to become citizen data scientists, but can you share maybe some projects or some good examples of things which you used at Covestro to introduce to people to make them citizen data scientists?
Yeah, sure, I can. So let's say a common theme we have, sometimes we do root cause analysis. So something is going sideways in the plant. And although people have a lot of ideas out of chemistry, why something is going on, it's very hard to find the root cause. And what we can do then is look at the data from a, let's say, different perspective and using our methods, like data science methodologies to, let's try to find the root cause. If you have the people who have this chemical background who can say, okay, the top 3 features, they look good on your report, but they're actually totally, it's quite impossible from a physical or chemical side that they are relevant, then you will really get a good insight. And if you teach the technical skills to that people, that's a win-win situation. That is where you can really create value and which can really bring you forward. Does this answer the questions that what you were hinting for?
Yeah, I think the root cause analysis example is something which I could totally see get buy-in from both citizen data scientists and who want to be one and those who are data scientists currently.
And Stefan, one question from the chat. Does Covestro leverage online academy programs, tools, or internally built education materials to increase your data literacy?
Yeah, so I mentioned we have a blend of online and offline courses. I think you can say that we have access to the Udemy courses just because of the breadth of material they have. We do a blend. So we pick some online courses for certain topics, and then the intermediate and advanced classes, they are handpicked. So we developed the curriculum together, let's say, with some external experts, but it's also we who were teaching those. But also, as I said, this is a huge investment, and we're currently thinking about how we could make this better. But we do use some providers.
Very cool. And maybe last question: how does Covestro approach evangelizing or kind of promoting internal wins that your data science community has in conjunction with the business to attract more businesses to consider your options?
Yeah. So what we have, and what is not only limited to, let's say, data work, there is let's say, innovation awards, which are taking place in different regions where you can actually submit ideas to. And these awards, you not only get celebrated for your wins if you have a data solution to a problem, or if you have a chemical solution to a problem, or if you have some other great thing for the company. We also promote as actually not only with recognition, but also financially. So if you really make an impact for the company, you will get recognition, and it will be rewarded financially too.
Very cool. All right, in the last 45 seconds here, we had a couple of questions about how long did it take Covestro to build up the Citizen Data Science program you outlined today?
So I've joined Covestro only last year, but I know that my whole department was founded already 3 years before, and this has been an ongoing activity. I'm not saying we spend all the time developing this, but I guess to where we are now and building up the community, that was a process from really inception to going there for about like 3 years.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Much appreciated. It's a short round of applause. We'll hear internally, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Great. Thanks. Bye-bye.